Revelations from the Void is the third full-length album from Onirophagus. This is a Catalonian death metal band, a death doom metal band, who started out as more of a melodic death doom metal band, influenced by groups like My Dying Bride and Catatonia and the sort of Swedish side of things. They were always a death metal band, though, and one that had choppier grooves to their first record, Prehuman, back in 2013. It took them some time to follow that up with a much improved second LP, and Darkenment Illumination Through Putrefaction was something that was in a much more sound direction. They'd changed some members in the band, some things had been realigned, and it felt like it was more of a death metal record. The actual fluidity and movement of their death metal side made a little bit more sense, and it felt like the doom side of it was less rooted in the Peaceville 3 stuff and more clearly interested in modern death doom. I was impressed with that record. It is still a great album, but this follow-up is a little bit more what I was looking for in terms of just riffs, atmosphere, all of that. So we'll cut to a clip here and get a sense for what this sounds like, and then I'll talk about what's new here and what's even better than anything they've done in the past. So when we look at the successes of Spanish death doom metal, in the sense that a band like Ataraxy or even Jade, that atmospheric death metal feeling that they bring to their own work is pretty strong here. And I feel like the vocalist here, Pain Grinder, he's brought in some of those techniques, the shouting, the certain different performances here that make this record something special, a step above what they had done previous, but also very much related to the overall dynamic. Now, we get riffs here on this record which are influenced by early Finnish death metal, death doom metal of a more classic station. We definitely get a heavier, darker feeling from Onirophagus than previous. And the interesting thing is that none of it reads as resolutely old school, and none of it reads as overtly modern or any sort of post-metal influence or anything like that. Essentially what we get is a great death metal record with a nice dynamic production, a huge sound, and a lot of variety in terms of its riffs and vocals. And I think that's the central focus here, is that it's got strong vocals, solid riffs, and it's just a good album. Now, where does that take us overall? It takes us to an above average record. I would say that we're not quite to the point where this is unforgettable stuff. I mean, but they are at the highest standard yet. And so when they work a little bit further away from the melodic death doom side of things and just focus on dark death metal, I feel like everything improves, and the longer the song, the better in this case, because variety is their strength. Now, I like the use of the new vocal techniques on this record quite a bit. It does help to characterize it, but it only just gets a high recommendation because I don't feel like they do anything outwardly interesting with it beyond what we've heard before. And so it'd be cool if they took that declarative voice and did something different with it. But overall, I think it suits the sound of this band. It really sets off their work, and I do feel like this is a little bit of a sleeper hit for January this year, as something that I really hope they iterate upon, because this is probably the best record from Onirophagus to date. Nothing but praise for this one. Strong album. It released on January 17th. You can check it out now, and go ahead and read my review for more of my thoughts on the album in general.